Thank you for clicking on this video. If you are so inclined, right below this video, you can click like, share, subscribe. If you would like to make a financial contribution to this YouTube channel or even become a monthly financial contributor, then down in the comment section, you can click on my Patreon page, but you can also reach out to me through my post office box or email address. And I'm not sitting in a bathroom. It kind of looks like I am. This is the corner of a bedroom in our apartment. So let's clear that up. Today's talk is called, Do You Want to Be a Star? Have you ever been a star? Have you ever wanted to be a star? I was one time, and it was very brief. In one of the churches I pastored for about 10 years, on their church campus is a full-size gymnasium. It's a large aluminum building, 2 stories, with a balcony running along the gym about halfway up because the offices are up there. So one Wednesday night, I was walking on that balcony toward the office. There was one other person in the building, one of our kids named David. He was just playing basketball, just shooting. He heard me, saw me, we greeted one another, and then completely on impulse, I said, "Throw me the ball." And it was a good throw. He threw it up into the balcony. I was halfway, which means that I was half court, but I was up on the balcony. So I caught the ball, and in one motion, I shot nothing but net. And I acted like I did that all the time. If you could have seen the look on David's face, I was a star. Now, reality, if I were to try that 100,000 times, I wouldn't make it once. So that was the ultimate one off, and I was a star for a minute or two. But we're taking the question in a different direction in this talk from the New Testament letter of Philippians. Paul, the apostle, writes and says, "Live a cheerful life, doing everything without complaining or divisive arguing among yourselves. In this way, you will be seen as innocent, faultless, and pure children of God, even though you live in the midst of a brutal and perverse culture with people who live in bent and twisted ways. For you will appear among them as radiant stars in the universe, holding out the words of eternal life." Now let's go through it slowly. Paul says, and in the New Testament, it's actually a command, live a cheerful life. You can swap out glad-hearted or joyful. Live a cheerful life. And this is what it means in the text. Live a cheerful life, doing everything without complaining or divisive arguing among yourselves. No complaining, no grumbling, no arguing. I can't do it. It's not native to my humanity. I can't pull it off. But because the indwelling Christ is right here, Christ radiates cheerfulness. And without even trying, I can actually do this by the power of Christ, only by the power of Christ. I can live a cheerful life and do everything without complaining or divisive arguing. By the way, the majority language in the United States is still English. Spanish is catching up very, very quickly. But I think an even more common language, the 2 more common languages are complaining and divisive arguing. Most everybody in America speaks those two languages fluently. So let's keep going. In this way, by living cheerfully, no complaining, no arguing, in this way you will be seen as innocent, faultless, and pure children of God, even though you live in the midst of a brutal and perverse culture with people who live in bent and twisted ways. Paul wrote this well over 2,000 years ago, and we need to hear this today. So, by simply living cheerfully as Christ enables us to live cheerfully, doing things without complaining or divisive arguing, we will stick out. We do live in the midst of a brutal and perverse culture with people who live in bent and twisted ways. So do you want to be a star? This is what Paul says. For you will appear among them as radiant stars in the universe, holding out the words of eternal life. And the reason why it works is we're not radiating us. It's not about us. We are radiating the cheerfulness of Christ. And it's desperately needed in today's culture. Grace and peace.